Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Downright Annoyed with Movies. I am Mike from the Downright Nerdy Podcast, and this week we are going to be talking about 2016's Hush, directed by Mike Flanagan, starring Kate Siegel, John Gallagher, Michael Trucco, among a couple other familiar faces if you are Mike Flanagan fans. I will go ahead and talk about and read off the synopsis. A deaf writer who retreated into the woods to live a solitary life must fight for her life in silence when a masked killer appears in her window. That's it. That's all I'm going to give you right now. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce our skeleton crew to this evening. Starting with, let's go with my co-host Jackson. What's up? Hold on. Let's go.
Oh, yeah, because it's on my channel. Got it.
Yeah,
that's really important.
If I'm it's very important. Make sure everyone knows who's boss today.
So I am Jackson right here on this channel where you're watching this. If you come to watch it, and we're talking about Hush today. Mike has a Mike Flanagan wheel, and he keeps picking movies I've already seen. I'm waiting for Ouija 2 or what's the other one?
Pusher.
Well, no, that's not Mike Flanagan.
Oh, that's what's his face? No, Oculus. I think it was an Oculus.
Oculus, I think. Yeah, something like that. But anyway, excited to talk about this movie. I'm a huge Mike Flanagan fan. So
awesome, cool. And then last but not least, Ryan.
What's up? I brought a skeleton for our skeleton crew.
Awesome. Yeah, the normal crew is December holidays.
Life happens, baby.
Life, yeah, all good.
Thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here. I'm also a recent Mike Flanagan head. I've seen a lot of his movies, and it's just now recently like, oh wow, I like all of his movies. Oh, that dude's awesome. And now I'm like eagerly excited every time a new movie comes out. So I'm glad to be here.
Great. Yeah, he's like I haven't seen anything I haven't liked.
Yeah,
at least a bit. At least it's good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I mean, not all of them are to the degree that I got introduced by him with Midnight Mass. They're not all. Well, I guess technically I was introduced to him with Hill House.
Dr. Sleep.
Yeah. Dr. Sleep's great. Yeah.
Dr. Sleep. I saw. Yeah.
But yes, we are here to talk about that movie. So I guess first we'll start with expectations of the panel. Now, neither of you had seen this, correct? Okay, well, let's go backwards with Ryan then, as far as what did you expect from the movie? I don't know. Did you watch a trailer? Did you watch the wrong movie, perhaps?
Well, yes. First of all, I never watch a trailer. I never watch a trailer for any of these movies. I like to go in fresh. I did watch the wrong movie, even though Mike did. I watched only 20 minutes of it, luckily, but Mike even made the thumbnail for it and sent it to us, and we ended up not recording.
That was Paul. That wasn't me.
No, I know Paul made the joke and made a Hush 1998 poster reference, and I, in a scatterbrain, was like, "What am I watching again?" And I saw that first. So let me review the first 20 minutes of Hush real quick. It's about Gwyneth Paltrow, and she's recently engaged to this rich guy, right? And she goes to stay with him. And then Jessica Lange is the mom, and the mom is crazy, and I'm pretty sure she wants to kill Gwyneth Paltrow and bang her son. It's very incestuous and very weird, very 90s emotional thriller kind of thing, like Bad Fatal Attraction with incest. So I'm glad I stopped watching it.
So you watched the first 20 minutes. At any point did you ask yourself, why the hell did Mike choose this?
No, because sometimes bad movies get picked on here, or you might have watched it 20 years ago. Gwyneth Paltrow's in it, like she's charming or whatever. My expectations, spoiler free. I expected to like this movie. I like all of his movies. I haven't heard a bad thing about it, but I also knew literally nothing about it. So I was excited to go in expectation free, basically.
I'm sorry.
No, Mike. I was going to say.
I was about to say that was exactly the same thing. I had no expectations other than it's a Mike Flanagan film, and I've liked everything that he's made so far. It's got what did you call her? The poor man's Angelina Jolie in it, whom I'm actually falling in love with.
She's wonderful. Movie. Yeah.
Yes, I love her. I mean, I was really excited about it. Speaking of Gwyneth Paltrow, I'm still trying to get her candle, which is still sold out.
It's because I bought them all. Sorry. They're propping up my computer right now.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
I mean, my expectations when I first saw this, it was when I was like in the thralls of the Mike Flanagan world. So I think I had seen Gerald's Game, I had seen Hill House, I had seen Dr. Sleep, and I was kind of on a mission to see more of his movies. I don't know how I've missed 2 of them, but
it's funny because Oculus, I remember seeing Oculus, not even knowing it was a Flanagan. That movie rips. It's so good.
That's what I've heard.
Really?
I mean,
It's so good. Yeah.
But yeah, the second time seeing this, I knew what to expect. Was like a fun thriller thing. It's weird for a Mike Flanagan movie because it's not as deep thematically as any of the other stuff I feel like I've seen by him. But it's a good time. So that's what I expected to have, was a good time. And it's short. I like that too. It's very short.
It's like 82 minutes, I think I clocked it.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. So obviously we talked expectations. Now it's time to talk spoiler free. We'll go the other way. Mike, what's your spoiler free review of Hush?
I liked it. I thought it was a fine I don't even really want to call it horror. I want to call it more of a thriller. And I have to say I did enjoy it. It has really good tension. As much as like we don't get too much character development, but like with this, I don't feel like it's really needed. And I mean, just off the bat, I mean it's in the synopsis. So the Kate Siegel, she plays a deaf writer, and I feel like all of us, like as soon as you see that she's deaf, you kind of already have a little bit of a kind of pity towards her or something. As an audience member, you're like, okay, all right, this is almost similar to God, what was the one where the dude's blind? And it's like another horror movie with Don't Breathe.
But he's the bad guy.
The bad guy, right? But it's almost
yeah.
like the opposite. You know, does that make sense what I'm saying? Anyway. Spoiler free, I liked it. I'll say leave it at that for now right now.
Ryan?
I also liked it. I can't say I loved it. But I did like it a lot. Like I liked it more than I disliked it. It is very simple. It is very much like it is definitely his shortest movie. This dude usually makes like 2-hour, 30-minute movies or 8-episode seasons, right? But it's really enjoyable, and the premise itself, it's really unique. With having a deaf person deal with a slasher. And I think the atmosphere is really great. I think it's really tense. Having a lot of it be music free to match what she's dealing with really works. And I was really wondering, could a movie work where like there's not a lot of music, not a lot of sound for some of the time? And I think they balance it out really well. I think the slasher guy's pretty good. I liked it. Didn't love it.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of like Friday the 13th and a little bit of what's the Purge almost feel to it. It's like an amalgamation of those two. But I really like this movie quite a bit. I think it's good. Awesome. I do disagree, Mike. I think that you get quite a bit of character build, at least for the main character, and that's the only one you really care about, right?
Yeah, I mean, but there's really not much to her. She's just a writer, and she's deaf.
Yeah, she's a struggling writer. She's a struggling writer who can't finish the ending of her book. Midnight Mass was her first book. She has a recent relationship that went to shit. She's out here alone. She's got friends who kind of check in on her, but as far as a movie like this, it's enough. And it's super stylish. The movie is now. I want to bring up Paul's review that he sent via Instagram because I wish he was here for me to kind of debunk that. I don't think that the killer is stupid. I think that he's arrogant and cocky, and I mean he can kill her right when he first sees her at the beginning of the movie. He's not trying to.
What I took from him is that I don't think he's stupid, but he's a hunter, right? He's creeping around with a crossbow and hunting knives.
He's deranged.
He's deranged for sure, but he's in that hunting mode. You know what I mean?
He's treating her like an animal.
I mean, nobody goes out to hunt just to shoot a fish in a barrel. They want to. I mean, they know they're going to catch the fish, but they want to be able to
but hopefully
get it.
Hopefully they're not. hopefully hunters aren't being as cruel with their prey as this guy is with her. Because I mean, he could have killed her right away.
Yeah.
I mean, there's multiple opportunities he has. He's in the house when she's on the computer right in front of him. And he could have killed her right then, but he okay, I'm going to take the phone and play with her a bit. Almost like a cat with a mouse.
100%. That's exactly what it is. Like he saw an opportunity, not realizing that she's.
Should we go into the spoiler section since we're talking about this?
Yeah, shit.
Yeah.
No, we haven't talked about that much. We're fine.
That's not too bad. But yes, spoilers. So Mike kind of described the plot, but basically it's an hour and 20-minute long cat and mouse game between poor man's Angelina and the guy from the newsroom. I don't know his name, but I like him in this too, because he doesn't it's weird because I almost remember the first time seeing this, waiting for there to be some backstory to him that explains why he's like this.
I'm kind of glad there wasn't.
Right. Yes, I agree. 100% agree. But yeah, the entire movie is all in this house. There's nothing. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. There's nothing that exists outside of the house or the 100 or so feet around the house. Correct?
It's a stationary set. That's the location.
Stationary set with 5 actors the entire movie.
Yeah.
Right. And then, cinematography wise, I think it looks great. It's got a little bit of that blue tint that he has on a lot of his shit. But overall, I think it looks good. The sound is great. The sound design. Because, I want to talk about this.
I really want to talk about the sound because when we watch a movie about a deaf woman who, by the way, I mean, Katie Siegel, I mean, how talented is she? I mean, she's
thumbs up.
Literally doesn't talk. I mean, she does talk in her mind, which I thought was a great piece of.
Oh, the whole ending and the thematic thing of her never being able to finish her ending.
How she was explaining to her writer friend that she hears these voices, and that's how she kind of writes it. And then we got to see how she hears these voices later on as she's thinking of all these different endings of how her own demise will happen. Right. It was very cleverly done. I really did like it.
It's such a Stephen King call because his whole thing is Stephen King notoriously has bad endings. And Mike Flanagan is such a Stephen King fan. It's funny this came out in 2016.
There were Stephen King books in the movie.
100%. And it's oh man, he wears his inspiration on his sleeve. It's so good. He's making better adaptations. He's making fake adaptations, basically, of Stephen King material.
I wish Stephen King would have known Mike Flanagan his whole career.
30 years ago,
gotten some way more awesome Stephen King adaptations than
100%.
Why didn't he do The Stand? By the way, damn,
too busy.
But I love that, the whole ending thing, and the way the sound the whole time. I mean, it's very tense, I would say, and you do care enough about the main character at least to not want her to get killed, right?
Yeah.
He does a good job because usually you go into a movie like this, a slasher movie, and let's be honest, most slasher movies, you're there for the kills. You almost want the kills to happen. I don't feel that way watching this movie, really. I'm very, very attached and wanting her to survive to the point where there's a scene in this where a guy shows up. One of the neighbor's friends, the neighbor girl, comes over and dies, and her husband or something shows up. Yeah. And you're you really don't, you want it to just, let's have this be it.
That is such a good sequence because at first, he trusts that he's this officer, even though he doesn't have any police officer stuff. But slowly over the couple minutes they keep talking, he's starting to get it. And he's I don't trust him, but I'm gonna poke at it to see what I can get. And then by the time he's gonna do something about it, he gets killed. And it's oh man, it was so close.
She screws him over because she takes his attention
unintentionally.
I know.
It's a
but
bummer.
It was great because the bad guy knows too. The killer knows, much like your hunter point. If a hunter's up against a bear and isn't armed correctly, you've got no shot, right? So he knows that if he fights this guy, he's gonna get killed, and he knows that the girl basically bailed him out.
Yeah.
That's a great sequence.
I want to talk about the tension real quick. Sorry, Ryan.
You're good. You're good.
This thoughts in my head.
Get it.
The begin right when we get that first amount of tension, when she's cleaning up her kitchen and her friend is getting killed right outside, and she's banging on the door Like, and then the dude realizes that, like he knocks on the door, taps, knocks, pounds. He goes, "What's up with this?" And then he makes his way through, and she gets the call. And then Jackson, where we talk about, that's what you were talking about, how she's, on FaceTime talking to someone and signing, and he starts taking pictures of her and sending it to her via FaceTime.
Ooh.
It's that was pretty good.
Yeah, it's really well done. It is weird. It's like, this is I feel like in the realm of horror, like Mike Flanagan can do it all. Because most of the stuff I've really liked of his has been like emotionally draining. Like I would say both Hill House and Midnight Mass had me from the jump on like a character building level. This is not that, to your point, Mike. There's enough, but it is strange that like the guy can just do all of it. I feel like
he's good at it. He loves the genre and all of it. Like, again, like, not sometimes you can just have like fun slasher movies, and even this movie.
This isn't a slasher flick.
Well, it's not, but like
it's totally a slasher flick.
There are multiple murders in it, but also like it's hard to categorize this movie because it is it's not really a horror movie, but there are horror elements. It's more of a thriller, but there are slasher elements. Like he slashes people in this movie.
Why are we so quick to take artistic good movies and say that they're not really horror? We don't want to think of them as horror. This is clearly horror.
Yeah.
It's a woman trapped alone in a house in the middle of the woods.
This is Alien.
Brutally murdering everybody who comes near the house.
Yeah. I think because the tension was so good, I'm thinking, like, because I get more of this type of tension in thriller movies.
Is Hereditary a horror movie?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's
Hereditary, didn't you, Mike? You said you just watched it.
I started it. I didn't finish it.
Oh, it's the most horror movie of all.
Yeah, and it's tons of tension.
Yeah,
Is it? Okay.
I mean, horror should have tension. If it doesn't, it's not good.
Yeah, because horror movies that are just like jump scares, like that's not real. That's not real horror. That's like,
I get, I'm a little bit of I get a little defensive over horror.
Do you really?
I think we're very quick to take anything good and try to say, oh, that's not horror. It's like when Game of Thrones was
because
really
good. Horror
this isn't like movie. Really like fantasy.
There's no horror. No, there's no good horror movie.
That happened with Game of Thrones constantly. It drove me nuts for its entire 8-year run. It was like, well, this is, it's fantasy, but it's not like really.
It's the same thing
with
like
fantasy. It's like,
the term elevated horror.
Right.
Well, I've never heard that.
So basically anytime like an A24 movie, like Hereditary or Midsommar, like they say that when like a horror movie is like so good, like, oh, it can't be a horror movie because horror movies are normally bad. Like it's elevated, it's beyond, it's like better than its standard. I'm like, that's not fair. That's not fair.
I don't think it's true either. Like a lot of the really good stuff over the last 5 years has been really good horror. Like I'd say Hereditary is probably my favorite movie over the last like 5 to 10 years.
It is my favorite horror movie of the last 5 years, 100%.
Yeah, for sure. And like I don't know. I don't know. Sorry, I didn't mean to get on my soapbox.
This is a horror podcast. Let's talk about it.
But no, I don't think there might not be enough kills to satisfy a typical slasher movie, but like he's gutting people and like blood splattering. So like to me, like it rides the line of being a horror thriller in that area. Yeah. People that are scared by scary movies, I think, would be scared by this.
Yeah.
Generally.
Well, actually, if you put it that way, I mean, I asked Riley if she wanted to watch, and she watched about 5 seconds of it, and she's like, "No, I'm done."
Home invasion movies.
Okay, it's a horror.
Home invasion movies are really scary for a lot of people, and especially if like a character like doesn't know half the time what's happening. That's truly horrifying. That's like the most real a horror situation can get.
That's a good point.
Speaking
too.
of that, real quick, I just want to talk about this scene real quick, man. The bathtub scene was freaking awesome.
Oh, it's great. Yep.
Yeah. When like at first I didn't know what those lights were coming back behind, and I'm like, then once I finally realized, oh, that's glass breaking. She can't hear nothing.
Right. She can't hear anything. And then what does she see that makes her decide to
No, he breathes and she feels it on
his neck.
Yeah, that was great. That was great.
There's a great way of real quick sorry, before I forget.
No, you're good.
When she's hiding under the house and she uses the vibrations to know when he's leaving, and I'm like, that's a brilliant way of showing that like she still has agency and she can still do stuff while being deaf. And I'm like, man, that's good. That's good thinking. I love it.
Yeah, there's you know, to your point about home invasion movies, like oh god, what's the one with Liv Tyler that was really fucking
The Strangers.
Scary? The Strangers, yes.
Ooh, that's A+.
This almost takes that. It's like Mike Flanagan understands, like, okay, woman alone in the middle of nowhere in their house is really fucking scary. Let's make it even more stacked against lone woman. Let's make her deaf.
Yeah.
You know? And The Strangers is more brutal. There's more people, but yeah, I mean, I would not want to be an unarmed person of either sex, I guess. But I think there's a reason why it's usually women that are put in these roles, because there's something frightening about the man outside. I mean, who knows what he wants to do, right?
Yeah.
And it's very well done in this movie. This isn't like my favorite Mike Flanagan movie, but the fact that this is like near the bottom of Mike Flanagan movies, like, really is impressive.
It's like talking about a like Denis Villeneuve movie. Like his worst movie is still like better than every other movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The scene that I really love, that I knew the movie that it was going to take a turn, is when he catches her and he starts killing her with the rock, and I'm like, oh, this isn't real. This is a fake ending. And then it does the thing where it's like, well, no, I can't do that. I'm like, oh, this is awesome.
Like, yeah. So there's a part. Let's talk about that sequence, right? Because towards the end of the movie, like they've set up the fact that she's been trying to nail this ending, and she keeps getting stuck writing the ending of this book that she's writing, right? And towards the end, when it's like she's bleeding out, she starts going through in her head all the different like endings that are possible in this situation. Like, okay, if I hide, I bleed out, I die. If I fight him, this happens, I die. If I run, he catches me, bashes my face in with a rock, yeah. I die. And you see all these things happening, and it's very visceral, and it's very like, you can empathize with that, because I feel like everyone in that situation would be doing the same thing. And it's almost like a representation of her writer's block, that she just does not see a way out. You know what I mean? So super clever. Like, ridiculously clever.
Yeah. And yeah, the evil actor guy, he's so good at being menacing and just like a douchebag. He's so good at being that kind of guy.
Yeah, speaking of him, I think one of his best moments towards the beginning, when she writes on the glass, like, I haven't seen your face, please leave, whatever. And then he just goes, can you read my lips? Now you've seen my face.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh, what a meanie.
Oh, that's fucking rude.
Yeah, that was good too, because it's so early in the proceedings.
Yeah.
That you're like, oh, he took the mask off already. I thought this was going to be like masked bad guy the whole movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He made it personal. He just wants to murder.
But yeah, let's see. I mean, editing's good, especially with those scenes with the the fake deaths. Directing, I think he's always good with directing.
Acting's great, yeah.
Thematically, I mean, I guess I think that it has a theme. But yeah, no, Ryan, what were you going to say? I'm sorry.
Just real quick. The husband of the neighbor who comes by, we do get a little bit of character stuff for our main character through him. Because like you have the fake cop asking him like, oh yeah, does she have a boyfriend? And he's like, no, she lives alone. So that guy, the killer, immediately knows that that's not true. Like, even though like that would really matter, he's still going to be there. Like,
well, he already kind of knew that she was alone, and that was a lie because of the conversation that she had with her friend on the computer.
That's right. That's right. That's true.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
But
yeah,
I think
that was great.
He was kind of playing dumb with the neighbor dude, with the big dude from Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah,
dude, that was great too. That like when the boy, like, because the bad guy knows all this because he listened in on her private conversation.
He's just trying to bide time just so that he could figure out a way to kill that guy, so that he can, because he knows if he fight, like, just like you said, Ryan, he knows if he fights him, he's gonna lose.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He even says it in the movie.
Right. It's great. I love that. I love too how many, like, in an 80-minute movie or whatever, how many of those like scenes there are that get set up where it's like the like hold your breath as she goes out to try to get the phone, or when she's like
when she gets shot with the crossbow.
Yes,
and she doesn't scream. I screamed.
Yes.
Or I think that she does better not screaming. Almost as better. I think she's almost she's almost better at not screaming than she was at screaming in Midnight Mass. That's episode 3. It's really close. I still think Midnight Mass performance takes it.
That scream that goes through the entire credits at the end of that episode, Midnight. But she does kick ass. Good for him for marrying her so that he has her on tap for all of his stuff.
Like Rob Zombie and Sherry Moon.
Yeah. We won't compare quality there. We'll leave that alone.
I gotcha.
But fun movie. I guess
Midnight Mass, big references, like we said. Like,
yes,
they talk about Father Paul and Aaron, and like, oh my god, like this is 5 years before this even came out. This is awesome. It's really cool.
I want to say, I mean, a lot of the stuff he's done recently has been either Stephen King adaptations, or there was like the 2 Haunting shows, right? Were adaptations of previously existing works.
Yep.
But yeah, this I believe is an original Flanagan, and I think that, or Midnight Mass definitely is, and it's kind of cool because he was clearly working on Midnight Mass for forever.
Yeah.
It was weird seeing like 2 of the characters reference. 2 of the actors from Midnight Mass reference characters by name who are in Midnight Mass.
Yeah.
So good for him for getting that made. And if this is the kind of stuff we can expect from him when he does do original stuff, he needs to just keep cranking out stuff. I know he's doing a Edgar Allan Poe thing next for Netflix.
I was just gonna look up to see what he's doing.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I think maybe the Fall of the House of Usher or something. He's doing something. It's gonna be great. I'm sure. Whatever he does, he's one of those guys where it's like, Bly Manor was pretty good. He only directed one episode. I mean, it's fully worth a watch. It's good. It's good.
It's more of a emotional drama, honestly.
Actually, Mike, if you came to me with that's not horror after watching that show, I don't think I would have much to say to you. Actually, that one. There might be an episode that's horror, but no. Again, it's good. It's not directed fully by him, and it shows. But that being said, if a Bly Manor quality show came out every 2 months, I would be thrilled. I would love to watch stuff like that over and over. So
he has something coming out next year called The Midnight Club, which is an American horror mystery thriller based off Christopher Pike's young adult novels. So some more horror coming from Mike Flanagan. Never stopping.
And he's doing like a young adult. Yeah, more thrillers. So young adult, huh? He's tackling the young adult horror genre.
I don't know if the material he's making is the same, but like the books are apparently young adult, so we'll see.
What was that young adult trilogy, Mike, that we watched on Netflix? The movies.
It was Fear Street.
Fear Street.
Yes.
Fear Street. Fun.
Those are young adult.
I like those.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they were very, very bloody and gory, but
I thought they were like rated R.
They were, but they had like it was like a high school teen. All the characters were. It was like a young adult with gore and sex and awfulness.
It's very much though like a 3-part series. So you like to get the whole positive experience out of it. You need to watch all 3. Like if you watch just the first one and just kind of take.
I was just gonna watch the middle one.
Yeah,
actually, the middle one was probably my favorite.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's one that's like high school modern times, or no, 90s,
1984.
90s.
Yeah, there's like
80s.
16,
it goes back in time, right?
Yeah.
So
the
it's
middle
like 94, 84, and then 6.
And then Order 66.
Yes, the middle one is like a Jason movie. It's like a camp, and there's like a masked killer on the loose. But yeah, they're fun. I would recommend those. Not to get off topic, but I guess now is time for the Devil's Advocate game.
Oh yeah,
only 3 of us. Let's do it.
Only 3.
Let's do it. Let's see. Shares.
So there's only one judge.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh man, it's a monarchy in here. Look at all these.
All right, who's here? John's gone. Paul's gone. All right. So 4.
The winner is 3. Who will it be?
Who thinks it's the best movie?
Jackson.
Oh, it's going to be you.
Okay.
I hate this movie.
Let's take him.
Gwyneth Paltrow was terrible at it.
It's a very not. It's not a very hateable movie.
All right,
We'll
Ryan.
see.
You
We'll
gotta say
see.
it's the worst movie ever. All right,
Cool. Listen, I got it.
cool. Let me get my handy dandy timer out.
This is gonna
And
be
you
impossible.
guys got to convince me otherwise.
Right? Yeah, I don't know what you would hate about this. Yeah.
Let's start with Jackson. 30 seconds on the clock. Why is this the best movie ever? Go.
This is the best movie ever because it's a small story told from a very narrow point of view that gives you a really strong heroine to work for, to root for. They add in some great gimmicks like deafness, and I mean, it takes a lot to have a horror movie without those jump scare sounds, right? And they managed to accomplish this through clever camera work, great performances, and also has blood and gore for those fans as well. So
I saw your eyes darting around. Did you write that down?
No, I was looking at your clock. I was trying to come in just at.
All right, Ryan. Why is this movie terrible?
Hold on, before you start.
Oh.
Shit. Okay.
Nope.
I was gonna say because
Go
I was gonna look up a bad review, but this has a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, good luck. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, ready and go.
Man, Mike Flanagan is such a good director, but like this one just like I couldn't see anything. It's so dark all the time. Like I'm not really sure what's going on. I for a movie that's supposed to be scary, like I didn't find it particularly scary because the main villain, he's just so arrogant and rude, and he's not very fun to watch in a nasty way, not in a fun way, in a nasty way. I found this movie to be very mean-spirited and not in a cool way where I like a normal Mike Flanagan movie. It's very, very nasty.
Do we want any rebuts? You want to rebut? 15?
Yeah, I'll rebut.
All right.
But
Go, 15 seconds.
I mean, you say it's dark. It's in the middle of the woods at night, Ryan. I could see everything going on. Maybe you need to get your prescription checked, or something's going on with you. Clearly, it's a horror movie at night in the woods.
All right, Ryan, 15 to rebut. Go.
okay.
He's reading bad reviews.
Formulaic horror movie that has gore, violence, and cursing. Listen, I don't want cursing in my horror movies. I'm a young Christian boy, okay? That's all
You totally got that review. There's one Rotten Tomatoes review that's always there, and I forget, Common Sense Media or something.
You got it.
Yeah,
you got it.
It's like the one that decides whether it's good for the children.
Cursing.
Solo
this one was
jumped in a
impossible.
little late. What's up, buddy? Thanks for hopping on. Yeah, Jackson's you win.
This movie's just too. Yeah, there's no bad.
The only thing, like, I'm trying to think of like if there are really any like huge flaws in this movie.
It doesn't reach for anything, and not in a negative way. It just doesn't go for the hardcore. So like, there's nothing to like. It didn't fail on anything.
Like,
it's
which is fine. Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
I'm thinking about is there anything like I could super nitpick? I mean, the only thing I was really thinking about while watching it was when he's trying to break through those French doors. And it just, I mean, are those damn things made by Tesla or something? Like like those things are so strong. I want those all around my house.
Listen, I have never personally experimented with it, so I can't say yes or no.
I wonder if
They
they're
look
the same
like-
French doors like the movie we watched. I
No,
don't
that
know.
takes him to another dimension.
I mean, you can see those French doors in Mike's or Ryan's background. Those are
Yeah.
some strong. I mean, that's some bulletproof glass there, clearly.
Yeah. Maybe she got him specifically hard because she's like alone,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's share the screen here real quick one more time.
Oh, I do want to mention, I thought it was neat too, like the setup and payoff. The fact that she mentioned the vibrations earlier in the movie with the alarm system.
Yeah. Oh, like
Like-
they're super loud, and that's like it could hurt him.
Yes.
Oh, we got to do final grade. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm giving this a B+.
Mhm. I give it a solid B. Good movie.
B. I'm gonna give it I'll give it a B. I'll give it a B as well. What
Solid
did
B.
Paul say again?
B minus.
minus.
B
Yeah.
minus. Okay.
Look at that.
Yeah, although I wish he was here because I would have liked to take him out to the shed for his review.
All right. Wheel time. Is Solo Wookiee still here? Because if so, I'm gonna put him on the wheel.
Solo
for the
Wookiee.
audience.
I
Yeah.
believe
lucky
he
day.
is.
All right.
Yeah, just put his name in there.
Yeah,
Don't even
put
say
Solo.
audience.
Solo. I'll put Solo in there. You don't have the new carbon fiber French doors with bulletproof glass. Sheesh, just wow.
Can't afford it, Solo Wookie.
All right, who's choosing for next week?
Ooh, let's do it. Let's go. It's gonna be me, baby. It's
gonna
my
be me, baby. It's gonna be me again.
Hush 2, the hushioning.
Hush 2. It gets husher. All right. Well then I'll just go to my wheel here.
This must be nice. What
Very
was
nice.
my
I'm gonna be
last?
cooking
What was
with
my
you.
last pick? I thought
Take
I had a good
off.
shot tonight.
Take off Hush and Absentia first, unless you just want to rewatch them.
Oh my God, Jackson! I gotta go to the next page, bro.
It's been a while.
The Hunt.
Okay.
That was a good
So
one.
this is going to be episode 73. The Hunt was episode 50.
Okay. 20.
No way, really?
23
Yeah.
episodes.
It's been that long?
Yeah,
right.
man.
That's like half.
right.
That's half a year almost.
Dude, I have streaks. I'm a very streaky guy. You know, the Lions won today for the first time. I really thought I was going to double up with the wheel win.
No,
today.
that's what all you get is one. Everybody gets one, Spider-Man.
He's just taking stuff off he doesn't feel like watching anymore.
No, that he's seen already. Yeah.
Yeah. There was a couple other ones that I wanted to add on. Where was that?
It's funny. I just watched. I finished
I wanna
my
watch this
Hunger
again.
Games rewatch over the weekend.
Okay.
Oh yeah, are those still?
I'm gonna
How
add
are
that
those?
here.
You know, the first two, the second one's my favorite. I think the first two are marketably better.
I remember
than
the
third and
second
fourth.
being dope. Yeah.
Yeah, the second was great. God, it's
Where
so
was
sad.
that,
Philip Seymour Hoffman, man. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Where was that one? It's called. Gosh, where is it?
I always think of him in Mission Impossible 3, where he's like, "I'm gonna hurt her,"
Hold on a
dude,
second.
and then I'm gonna
that
hurt you.
movie. He makes that movie like almost great.
That
'Cause
movie
he's
is
so
good.
good.
That movie
He's
is
so good, dude. He's
That movie is
fucking
good.
awesome.
All right, money.
Okay.
All right,
All
Mister
right. Here we
Movie
go.
Man. What do we got?
I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, please, King Arthur.
Arthur.
Oh. Is this the Jude Law one?
No, this is the one with
Is this the Clive Owen
Mads
one?
Mikkelsen. Yeah, Clive Owen.
Oh,
It's been a while. I mean,
Keira
I
Knightley.
can't-
Yep. Let's do a genre too.
Hold
We have a
on.
genre wheel, right? Yeah.
Hold on, Clive Owen Arthur movie.
All right. So for the genre wheel as well.
Oh right, yeah, I definitely saw it. Oh yeah,
Ooh.
Oh shit. All right. Superhero.
oh my god.
Um,
Dark Man.
Ooh.
That's the best superhero.
What do you
movie
say,
ever.
Darkman?
Dark
Dark
Man.
Man. I will go with let's go original. We haven't watched original Superman, right? Let's put Superman on here.
Oh, it's so good, classic.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go with one of my favorites. We're gonna go with Batman: Mask of the Phantasm. Love that movie. Save that. And Solo, if you're still in the chat, throw out a couple of superhero movies and we'll add it to the wheel that we'll pick later. So
Superhero.
yeah, that's it.
Jolly good, gents. You're mad. Yep.
You're
Nope.
muted,
nope,
buddy.
Nothing. Whole lot of nothing. You're saying nothing.
How many man movies are on that wheel? There's Superman, Starman,
Dark Man.
Batman, Darkman.
Blank Man.
This blank man. Come on, Solo. You got to have a superhero movie. What about Spawn with Michael Jai White?
Why would you do that?
Because he's a Spawn guy. He's a Spawn guy.
He is a Spawn guy.
Yeah.
When's that Jamie Foxx one gonna happen? With
Never.
Todd McFarlane
Never.
directing it.
Never.
Dude, I want to.
He's
see
like
that.
directing it, producing it, and I
He
think
needs
he's
to
also
just
doing the
he
script.
needs to just let someone else be tagged as director.
Red Hood
Who's-
animated feature. All right.
Who's
cool.
letting him direct a movie? That's what I'm wondering. That's insane. That's like letting Frank Miller direct a Spirit. Like who?
Yeah.
Bad idea.
Did you see
guys.
that they what do you call it? I think it's Momoa that's rebooting The Crow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's happening. That's
yeah.
like
They
they're
actually, I
filming
think
that.
they started filming, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
He was good in Dune. I thought his character was fun in Dune. I'm not a huge Momoa guy, but I thought he was good.
I really want to do a Dune and have John come back for it.
Yeah, we need to get Ryan and John. By the way, I'm with you, Ryan. I don't know if I could handle it. Watching it again.
I could. It's just like
No gore. It does not.
In your heart, gore. It counts in your heart.
Hulk, Planet Hulk. All right.
Ooh, yeah, Planet Hulk. All right.
Yeah, no, I don't know, Ryan. That would be tough because I watched that the other night, and he's not the only person I've talked to who's had that opinion.
Yeah.
But it's so good.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where like
good.
That's a movie that speaks directly to me, and I'm just like, I get why people don't like it, but I just don't want to talk to them about
it. Yeah. I would watch them and just hate watch them and yell at them.
I would be in the comments.
Just be here with your mic muted and just be like angry, yelling in the room on camera.
Every time I wanted to say something negative, I'd be muted. So I'd be muted the whole podcast.
Right. Or you just get him in there with Ken and let Ken take care of him because Ken would start talking about the Bon Jabbar and the
Gom
the
Jabbar.
The Gom. Jeez, take
Come
my
on.
word card.
Yo, man, I started listening to Dune Messiah.
So you're like deep in it. You're deep in it.
I'm in the Messiah.
But yes, anyways, thank you for coming for another episode. Make sure and go over to Mike's channel, Downright Nerdy Podcast, for the awful King Arthur review. Not the review. The review might be good, but the movie I think is bad, if I remember correctly.
I enjoyed it.
Oh, okay.
Spoiler review.
It's got Mads in it though, so take it.
I don't
with a grain of salt.
Mads,
But anyways, neither do I. Is he Merlin? Who is he?
No, he's not Merlin. You'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But yes, anyways, time to say our goodbyes. We will start with Ryan.
Hey guys, Ryan from the Fake Nerd Podcast. We are going live sometime tonight. I honestly don't know when. In the next hour to 3 hours, we're going to be talking about the Spider-Man Raimi trilogy. We got a new Spider-Man movie, so the next couple of weeks, we're going to talk about all those movies that have come out previously. It's Spider-Man month, Spidey December. The marketing is working. The hype is real. Check it out.
It is real.
It's real, baby.
Thank you, Ryan. And Mike hates Spider-Man. Let's go to him.
I don't hate Spider-Man. Come on. Yeah. Mike from the Downright Nerdy Podcast. So next week we'll be reviewing King Arthur on my channel. For the next couple of weeks, I know that a bunch of people's schedules are a little off, so we may be doing it at some obscure times and than you're normally used to. So check out our Instagrams and make sure you follow us there to find out any updated times. A couple of weeks ago, we did it in the morning, which was a ton of fun.
Yeah,
Um,
Got a different crowd in, so we'll see what happens. Check it out.
Thank you, Mike. And yes, I am Jackson. You can find me right here. And we will see you at some point in the next week. It looks like Solo did add about 37 other
I'm not
movies.
putting all those in there.
Okay.
Yelling at why?
But yes,
gave him like
thank you for watching. Go watch everything by Mike Flanagan, especially Midnight Mass, and let's do a Midnight Mass review, guys.
I would love
at some
to.
point. Yeah. So, all right, everybody, have a good weekend. Congrats to the Lions and their fans, by the way.
Their fan.
Their fan. Yeah, there was a couple people at the game today, maybe 6 or 7. But all right, we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.